Okay, so we're back, and you've downloaded the good copy if you want, and if not, you're working on the old copy, and let's see what we have here. So, a rational expression. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that wording matters. So, rational expressions. You got to learn what they are. I'm going to ask you on a test, we're going to talk about it, and you're going to have to use the proper language. Rational expression is any expression in the form a over b, where a and b are both polynomial functions. So this needs to be a polynomial and this needs to be a polynomial. They look an awful lot like rational numbers. Now, rational numbers were any number that could be put in this form, where a and b are elements of the integers and b does not equal 0. And so we call them fractions. Okay, all of those are rational numbers, fractions, and we could have negatives. Okay? So rational expressions will have polynomials in the top and bottom. Rational numbers will have numbers in the top and the bottom. And notice that we can't have 0 in the denominator, and we talked about that. Whenever you take a number and try to divide by 0, what that means is you're trying to take 7 objects, and you're trying to make how many groups of 0 can you make of 7 objects? Well, the problem is it's undefined. You could have one group of 0 objects, you could have 2 groups of 0 objects, you could have an infinity groups of 0 objects. That is undefined. Your calculator can't spell undefined, so it will say simply error, which again is not that right. Undefined is the correct answer. Now don't confuse that with this. What this says is you've got 0 objects, how many groups of 7 can you make? So think about poor Mr. White. It's kind of like he's got no friends. How many groups of 7 can he put together to go maybe go-kart riding? So Mr. White has no friends. How many groups of 7 can he make? The answer is none. Mr. White has no friends. He can make no groups of 7. The answer is 0. So please, please, please understand the difference between 7 divided by 0, which is undefined, and 0 divided by 7. Okay, so moving down here a little bit, we see so here are some examples of rational expressions we went over in class. Notice that 5x is still a rational expression because 1 is considered a polynomial. Okay, so 5x over 1 can be written as 5x over 1, or it could just be written as 5x, and we will consider that a rational expression. So, method of simplifying rational expressions. There's 3. Now, we didn't talk about these in class. We went over some other stuff first. Let's take a look at what we talked about in class first. We had 14 divided by 2, and I asked you how does that get reduced, and we had 12 over 16, and I asked you how that got reduced. And so we talked in class, and we said it was the same as breaking it up into its factors. So this has been broken up into the factors. So factors of 14 are 2 and 7. Notice that the 7 is going to be multiplied by 2. It's then going to be divided by 2. Well, that's pretty much the same as doing nothing to 7. This one, you've got 3 and 4, and this one is 4 and 4. Now, these are not the only factors. I could have broken this one up into 3 and 4, and this could have been 8 and 2. But notice it's not as convenient as breaking it up into 4 and 4, because notice that 3 would be multiplied by 4, it would then be divided by 4, leaving you with simply 3 over 4. And these are equivalent. They equal the same value. Don't believe me? Plug them into your calculator, see the decimal. Bottom line here, what we're saying is that if you have 2 times 5 divided by 2, then basically, if you're going to take 5 and times it by 2, and then just turn around and divide it by 2, you're going to be left with the 5. That is a good statement. However, later in this course, we're going to see things like this. 2 plus 5 divided by 2. This would be an incorrect statement. This would not be true. Obviously, 5 plus 2 is 7. Divided by 2 is 3.5. Okay, so the answer to that is 3.5. And the answer to this is 6. Obviously, they do not equal, and Mr. White is very, very sad. And the reason why they don't equal is because 5 plus 2 is not the opposite of division by 2. Multiplying by 2, dividing by 2 are opposite operations. Adding by 2, dividing by 2 are not. So again, no. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to stop there and come back. Well, hold on. We'll take a quick look here. Yeah, we'll stop there and come back.